Okay, think about how you pay for things these days. Tap your phone, maybe a card. It feels simple.
Deceptively simple sometimes,
Hmm.
especially when you look under the hood in places like Ethiopia, where the digital payment scene is really evolving fast.
Right, and that's exactly what we're diving into today. There was this Memorandum of Understanding, an MOU, signed just recently, April 23rd, 2025.
Between EthSwitch and Visa. Now, these are two names you might know, but they operate on pretty different scales.
Yeah, let's quickly recap. EthSwitch, maybe less known globally, but crucial within Ethiopia. They're the national payment switch, set up back in 2011.
Overseen by the National Bank of Ethiopia. They're like the central plumbing, connecting ATMs, points of sale in shops, mobile banking, online payments, basically making interbank stuff work.
And then you've got Visa. Everyone knows Visa, right? Global giant, digital payments operating in, what, over 200 countries?
Exactly. So when these two entities, the National Switch and the Global Giant, sign an agreement, you kind of have to ask, okay, what does this actually mean?
That's our mission today. We want to unpack what this collaboration signals for digital payments in Ethiopia and, what it might mean for you listening.
And we're basing this on what they've put out. There's an EthSwitch post on LinkedIn and an article from stockmarket.at that goes into some detail.
Okay, so let's start with the why. Why this partnership now? What's the main goal?
Well, looking at the sources, it really seems to boil down to strengthening the whole digital payment system there. The EthSwitch LinkedIn post talks about shared priorities.
Right, suggesting they're on the same page about needing to, well, beef things up.
And the stockmarket.at piece explicitly mentions deepening cooperation because the landscape is evolving so quickly. It's about building a more robust foundation together.
So it's not just a symbolic thing. They've outlined specific areas to work on.
Oh yeah, definitely. Both sources point to a few key areas. Things like interoperability.
Making sure everything works together smoothly, yeah.
Exactly. Different banks, different platforms, they need to communicate seamlessly. Then there's gateway services.
Gateway, meaning like an access point.
Precisely. For Visa, this gives them a central way in through EthSwitch to connect with all the Ethiopian banks on the network.
Yeah.
Much simpler than trying to connect one by one.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Efficiency. What else?
Security, of course. Always huge in digital payments. And related to that, tokenization.
Tokenization. That's the thing where they swap your real card number for a temporary code, right? For security.
You got it. It adds a strong layer of protection for your data during transactions. And the last big area mentioned is innovation.
Right, the forward-looking stuff. So developing new payment solutions together.
Seems like it. Joint efforts to bring in modern payment methods, maybe tailor things specifically for Ethiopia, covers quite a bit of ground.
It really does. Interoperability, gateways, security, tokenization, innovation. Okay, so those are the areas. What about the impact? What are the expected benefits here?
Well, that gateway point is a big one. EthSwitch's post highlights Visa getting that seamless connection to all member banks. Think about the potential efficiency gains there.
Yeah, less complexity, faster integration maybe.
That's what the stockmarket.ed article suggests: improvements in integration, efficiency, better service delivery across the whole financial sector.
Okay, so smoother operations behind the scenes. What about for the average person or business?
The big promise is a more secure and interoperable environment overall, which, should build confidence. If payments are easier and safer, people are more likely to use them.
And that ties into the bigger picture for Ethiopia too, doesn't it? Like financial inclusion and the whole digital transformation push.
Absolutely. Stockmarket.eb connects the dots there. Making digital payments work better helps bring more people into the formal financial system and supports those broader national goals.
I remember seeing a phrase in the EthSwitch post, something like, this MOU paves the way for future initiatives.
Yeah. Enhancing efficiency, accelerating innovation. It really frames this as a starting point, like laying down better tracks for the trains that are coming later.
It underscores EthSwitch's role here, doesn't it? They're not just a player, they're the national switch.
Totally. Stockmarket.et reinforces that. They are the backbone for ATMs, POS, mobile, e-commerce. The central infrastructure that everything else plugs into, really.
And Visa brings that global perspective and technology.
For sure. Their experience across, hundreds of countries, working with banks, working with fintechs, that's a massive pool of knowledge and proven tech they can bring to the table. Stockmarket.et touches on that global expertise.
So when you put it all together, this EthSwitch Visa MOU, it feels pretty significant, more than just a standard corporate partnership.
I think so. It looks like a really concerted effort to create a more connected, efficient and secure digital payment system for Ethiopia, making things work better.
Right. The goal seems to be making digital payments more reliable, more accessible, whether you're a consumer just buying something or a business trying to operate.
Exactly. Lowering friction, increasing trust.
It really gets you thinking, though. If this is happening now, setting this stronger foundation, what else might pop up in Ethiopia's fintech scene in the next few years? What other innovations could this enable?
That's the really interesting question, isn't it? How does this ripple outwards?
Yeah, and how might those future changes actually filter down and, change how people manage their money day to day? Something to keep an eye on, definitely.